I've shown you a bit about how to make guitars, but I haven't actually shown you any of the guitars that I've made. Allow me to correct that. The brief for this one was wide open. I was asked to make this for a friend, and all they wanted was an offset guitar, a set of pickups that would drive pedals well, and all of the other design choices were pretty much left up to me. So let's go back to the beginning on this one and watch the birth of the Space Panther. This is the original CAD model. It comprises of 4 main parts. First up is the body, which contains a reflection of the belly carve instead of just being a 2D cavity. The neck is a reverse headstock F-style. The next layer is the cap, incorporating an arm carve for comfort and 2 lightning bolt F-holes for speed. This last piece is the custom scratch plate, which has 2 cutouts to accentuate the lightning bolts. I have to apologize, I don't have video footage of this build, so if it's okay with you, I'll just take you through a slideshow. This is an all mahogany build, standard mahogany body, and then this lovely figured top. As you can see, I got really lucky with the grain pattern on this. I love the way it radiates out towards the back. These are some lovely little treasures. I'll talk more about them in just a second. This is the body. Once it's finished carving, you can see some of my little infinity stone treasures back there in the tremolo cavity. So like I said, this build is for a friend, and I thought he might appreciate some extra power in his guitar. So the top piece of rock is from my garden, and that's where I built this. Well, in the workshop, you know what I mean. The second piece is a piece of a sculpture that was being carved by the banks of the Bosphorus in Istanbul. I asked the artist if I could take one of the offcuts, and he graciously said yes. The third rock is a piece of the Berlin Wall, and it's so fantastic to be able to include such a piece of history in this build. Many moons ago, when I was in Egypt, a corrupt soldier gave me this piece of the Great Pyramid for money. I met a Buddhist monk in Bangkok many years ago after quite a bad storm that had damaged the roof of his temple, and he gave me one of the broken tiles, a piece of which I've included here. Okay, let's flick back through some pictures. This is the finished cap and the body. We can see here some of the incredible bird's eye in the neck blank. This shot shows the scooping out and the thicknessing of the headstock area. Same blank flipped over. This carve looks a little bit rough, but I find it's easier to finish it off with sanding than to spend ages and ages carving on the CNC. This is my neck workstation, and it's where I carve and finish sand my necks. Looks pretty rough, right? I use the pencil and sand it away so that I know I've got a nice smooth surface. Here's a nice excuse to enjoy that bird's eye again. Here's a little peek under the hood so you can see the carbon fiber neck rod channels. This is just a quick test fit of the parts. Now all the rods are in and the cap is glued. Here, the fretboard is getting its inlay pocket, and just like magic, it's finished inlay. Here's a lucky bit of video, just testing the fretboard fitment. After gluing it on, I can press in the frets. All done. The inlay is bird's eye maple, just like the neck. I went with extra large pearloid side dots to tie in with the scratch plate and also the tuning keys, which are all pearloid. These are the water slides that I designed and made at home. This is my setup for drilling out electrosocket jacks. I use 2 different bits so I can recess the cup, like this. Now it's time to glue on the neck. You can see I've done some carving on the top as well. I had my laser cutter make these up for me a little while ago. One is for control cavity covers, and the other one goes into this little pocket in the heel joint. You can see I've been quite busy carving out that nice little heel transition. Now everything's glued together, we've got a complete guitar. And after 600 years of painting and reassembly, we have this. So let's talk about features. I've put a mastery trem on this. I've heard a lot of great things about these, and once it was set up properly, now I can see why. It's a simple yet extremely stable solution. The bridge has all the adjustments you need in all the directions you need them. I can't complain about this setup at all. Lots of lovely shiny gloss. I've never used a tone knob in my life, so I just included 1 volume pot and 1 switch. I really love the look and the sound of these Gretsch electromatic pickups. They do it all. And of course, every chance I get, I have to put some lightning bolt F-holes into an instrument. In this case, I wrapped the scratch plate around it, and I really love the way that came out. Something that I always love to do is these ultra-organic heel joints, and also notice the blind frets. The mahogany really lit up beautifully under that gloss, and it's accentuated so nicely, I think, by those stainless steel elements. That bird's eye maple on the neck doesn't look too bad either. This guitar ended up being the longest build in Temple Guitars history. We can blame COVID for that. We can blame my own personal illnesses for that. It's such a relief to finally have finished it up and sent it off to Canada, where it's going to live the rest of its life. It's always sad to see a guitar go, especially when you've nurtured it from when it was several pieces of tree right up to a finished product like this. But the number one thing that's important is making the customer happy. I'm going to call this one a success. Here I am testing it out happily, playing some Slayer. It's been a long time since the last episode. Hopefully it won't be so long until the next one. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you then.